What's up, everybody? This is Flash 850 making a video today about an interesting little thing here. My mom and my stepdad are actually going to get some setups, and because they are getting some setups, I'm going to make a video on some of the materials that they're going to be ordering. So I'm making this video specifically for you, Mom and Dave. This is the tank system that I offered you guys. What it's called is a X-Jet BDC. Now, this is modeled after a previous model. It's called the VV Nova. Now, the VV Nova has wicks, silicon wicks that come out of the top of the tank like this. Not outside, but inside the tank. And they wick the e-liquid that's inside of here into the atomizer. Now, in the VV Nova version 1, the atomizer was at the top. Now, you can still order that, but the reason I didn't want you guys to get that is because it dry hits. It'll sometimes, if you're running low on liquid like this one here, and you don't dip the atomizer into the liquid, you'll get a dry hit, or you'll be burning up the wicking material in the atomizer. So this is a BDC, which means bottom dual coil. Bottom fed, so it's never out of contact with e-liquid, so you never have any dry hits, and your atomizer will last a little longer. And dual coil, because there's two different atomizers in there. There's one like this and there's one like this. It creates more vapor, it's warmer, so it's like a cigarette. It contacts the back of your throat and gives you that same sensation. So it'll make it a little easier to use these all the time rather than smoking a cigarette every once in a while and vaping on this. And don't do that. Maybe after the first, during the first week, that's fine. But after that, you really want to be just on your vaporizer. Now, the batteries that I offered you guys are very similar to this one right here. The only difference between this battery and the battery that I offered to you is the company that makes it. That's it. They do the same things exactly to the point. Now, this is I believe this is 1,000 or 1,100 mAh. The one that I offered you guys is 1,300 mAh. Now, mAh means milliamps per hour. So, it's no judgment on how much power this battery actually sends to this atomizer. What it is storage capability. So a 600 mAh battery is not going to last as long as a 1,300 mAh battery. 600 mAh battery will last you maybe 3/4 of a day before you'd have to recharge it. From, let's say you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, by 6 o'clock in the afternoon you're going to have to recharge that battery. A 1,300 mAh might last you a day and a half, 2 days, depending on how much you vape. So it gives you the option of having a longer battery life, and then you have two of them, so you can charge one and use the other one. When that one goes dead, pull this one off the charger and use it. Very simple concept. Now, they're variable voltage, which means you can adjust how much voltage you're sending to your atomizer by the bottom. That's why they're calling them vision twist or vision spinners. These are called twists. You adjust the voltage by spinning this little bottom piece. It starts at 3.2 volts and it goes all the way up to 4.8 volts. You're going to use more power at the higher wattage, and the tank that I'm getting you doesn't really like anything above 3.8 volts. So you're really going to stay around 3.2 and 3.8 volts is probably the range that you're going to stay in. Depending on how old your atomizer is, if it's a week old, you might want to adjust the voltage up just a little bit so it creates the same amount of vapor it did when it was brand new. I run mine at about 3.4 volts. That's pretty much the max that I'll go. It produces just as much vapor at 3.4 volts as it does at 3.8 volts. So it's not really too much of an issue. Now I'm going to show you how these things go together. Now, when you make your order, I'm going to make sure that you guys get tank cones. And what that means is this right here is called Ego. What I mean by that is there's a 510 thread inside. This is a 510 tank only, which means this is just straight 510 threads. Then on the outside of your Ego battery, there's 808 threads. That is for an Ego tank. But this isn't an Ego tank, the one that you're getting. So you're going to get a tank cone that screws onto this, and it just has 510 on it, so it stabilizes this tank so it doesn't wiggle back and forth in that small little piece right there. But they're like $1.95, so don't even worry about that. It's just another piece, like an adapter. You can use it without the adapter, but you just have to be really careful not to drop it or stick it in your pocket and it wrenches around the tank and these threads will get messed up. And then you'll have to wrap it in Teflon tape in order to make it stay on there. So a tank adapter is a good thing to have. It's going to save you a lot of hassle. So you simply screw the tank onto the battery. There you go. Now, most of these batteries, in fact all of them now, come with an on and off on them. So if it doesn't fire like that right away, it means it's off. They have a 5-click on and off. Right now it's off. It will not fire. So if you put this thing in your purse or your battery or your pocket or whatever, and you don't want it to fire, turn it off. Now it'll fire. With these tanks, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little piece of advice. It took me about a month to learn. If you're not getting as much smoke as you were 10 minutes ago, and you haven't seen any bubbles pop up, take a nice really hard hit on it without pressing the fire button. Just go. And you'll notice that it'll take in just a little bit of liquid. And that's all it takes to get it going. Good amount of vapor. It's not a fully charged battery, so it's not too strong right now. I'm going to turn up the voltage just a little bit. More vapor instantly. See, I just turned up the voltage and it created just a little bit more vapor just to satisfy that craving I'm having right now. Now, I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes, so I'm not boring you to death. This is how you fill your tank. Hopefully having this video handy on YouTube is going to help you guys when you actually get your setup so that you can watch this and know what you're doing. So I don't have to be there to show you. You screw the bottom of your tank. Don't ever screw this top piece off when the tank's like this. Otherwise, you'll get liquid down into your head and it'll drain through the bottom. Don't screw your tank off from the bottom like this because all your liquid will dump on your lap. Don't do that. Make sure it's always flipped over and the head is pointing towards your lap. Screw off the tank. Voila. Now, I take the mouthpiece off so it sits flat. This is your atomizer. To change your atomizer, it's as simple as unscrewing that piece right there. It's got e-liquid on it, so it's wet and I can't unscrew it. Come on. Man, that thing's on there. Alright. Now I got it broke loose. It spins off just like that. These can be replaced. These are $2.95 a piece. They last for about 2 weeks or so. And they're completely replaceable. So when you order a new head, you take your old head out of your system. Grab your new head. Slide it into the bottom piece and then screw it right in. Take your liquid and when you're filling it, you want to turn it to the side and you want to fill down the sides of this tube. Don't ever go through that metal post in the center. Don't get any e-liquid down in there because it'll go through your mouthpiece and it'll go into your lap. So just fill and hit the side of the tube right there and fill it about halfway. You can fill it up more. Once it gets a little high, I turn it straight so it doesn't go down that post. You grab your bottom piece. Don't ever cross thread it because this is plastic. Make sure that it's threaded right and then just twist it right on. Flip it over and voila. You'll have a full tank filled with a brand new head in it. And then you just take it and Screw it right onto your battery. Install your mouthpiece. Now if it doesn't fire, you can hear there's no popping, there's no, sizzle. It's not firing right now. That's because your atomizer head isn't down all the way. So you take your bottom off like you're changing the atomizer, and that piece right here isn't screwed on all the way because the contactors at the bottom aren't flush with this piece right here. So all you do is wrench it down real tight, reinstall it back onto your tank, reinstall your tank, alright, now it fires. Gotta play with it sometimes. Simple as that. I hope this video helps you guys. Those are just some of the little problems that I had troubleshooting. I'll retouch on that firing issue one more time. The posts, this post right here, if you wrench down that atomizer and it still doesn't fire, this contactor post right here, you can take a paper clip and stick the paper clip right down into that contactor and kind of wiggle it up just a little bit, and that contactor moves a little bit, and once you've wiggled it up just enough, it should touch that contactor right there, and it'll fire perfect. So this is a troubleshooting video for my mom and my stepdad. I really hope that you guys enjoy this as much as I have. I really hope that you guys kick the habit finally and find something that's really going to be a lot healthier for you both. Love and miss you terribly, and I hope that I get a video back from you guys vaping. That's the ultimate goal, right? Anyways, this is Flash 850 with Flash Vape. Happy vaping.